The Brandon Peters Show may contain explicit language and detailed plot points. For more information on the show, stay tuned to the end of the episode.
The summer of 2015 at 10.
Welcome to the Brandon Peters Show for the final music video installment of the summer of 2015 at 10. And this year is no different than any other because we close this one out with our very own jingle maker and the author of Chinatown Troubadour, Pres Maxson.
Yo, what's up? Thanks for having me back. This is awesome.
Hey, thank you for making the soundtrack to a summer once again.
Of course.
Always appreciate it. Always love what you give me. Usually no notes. Typically I'm just like, no notes.
Yeah.
We're good.
I've always appreciated that.
Yeah. I appreciate the effort.
I'd be fine if you had some. Always.
Okay. Gotcha. So, okay, we're in 2015 this year. Where were you at in life in 2015? We are in 2015. We're 3 years from meeting each other for the first time. I will say that.
Is that true? We met it in 2018.
20 at the very end of 2018, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
2018. Yeah.
Okay. 2015 actually is not that different from where I am right now. I mean, here's the thing. I feel like I'm old, 10 years when I was 20 represented an insane spectrum of change, even, from age 21 to age 31, insane spectrum of change, not a huge spectrum of change for me from age 35 to 45. So I was here in the northern suburbs of Indiana working at the same place I work right now. You know what I will say, in 2015, I was sort of at the very beginning of my journey as a writer. As a journey as an author. I shouldn't say as a journey as a writer. I've been writing my whole life, but as an author, that I released my first novel in 2015. So, because it just had its 10-year anniversary a few months ago. And that represented a big change for me creatively, except I look back and it's like, I dressed just like this. I wasn't wearing these glasses frames, but I was like maybe 2 years away from these glasses frames. But,
there you go.
I had the same amount of hair then as I did now. Like I lost it all much earlier than that. So it was pretty unremarkable, I think, other than I hadn't really gotten into the author journey quite as much. But what about you? Where were you in 2015?
Oh, 2015. So I mentioned it, but like, yeah, I had both my kids are born at this time. One of them just turned 1. But like one thing I didn't mention was, and we're in August now, that so I had been in writing and podcast. I had been podcasting here and there for a few years at this point. But in 2015, I debuted my first like big podcast adventure, which was called Cinema Cavalcade at the time. And I really never,
that.
I did not, August 12th was actually the day it dropped. Which is, as we're recording this, it was a couple days ago, but I didn't know. I was like, should I say something about that? But 5 years ago, I ended it. 10 years ago, I started it. But,
interesting.
So yeah, I started that journey, which led me to, doing a live show at PopCon, where now I do work for PopCon. I run that podcast stage now. I met you through PopCon.
Right.
Like it was like, yeah. So it was that show was the start of greater things later on. But I mentioned with you, like that weekend we met was where I started getting the wheels turning for, I can do this on my own, and started my new show as well. So so that was the big thing that I was getting into, was doing a regular podcast that I had created. Because before I had done a couple with Aaron Newirth, but they were like little side shoots of following a TV show along for episode to episode, and he did all the heavy lifting for everything at the time. So that was a jump for me to do that. And I met my producer Brad Shoemaker through that, and the rest is history, I guess.
Yeah, nice. Well, I will admit, I know we're about to talk about this music video. Like
I've got a
This didn't.
couple. I got a couple things for you before that, though.
Oh, okay.
There we
Well, I
go.
was gonna. Okay, go
Oh,
ahead.
what were you gonna say? Was it?
My last note was like, I don't get too nostalgic for 2015 anymore because it
Yeah.
like doesn't feel that long
No, it
ago.
doesn't. It's like, yeah,
You
that's what
know?
I'm saying. Like, and
Yeah.
I tell people now, well, we just tonight, my niece, she's going to Ole Miss, and she moves tomorrow to go to school,
Wow. Good for her.
and she goes, oh, I guess I'll see you guys all in, I think she said November for Thanksgiving,
Right.
and it's like. Someone's like, "Oh, that seems like that's a ways." I'm like, "Dude, I'll be here in 2 seconds." Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
seriously.
That's just gonna be a
I
blink.
never
Yeah.
like feel like I'm
Yeah.
waiting. Like I used to be the guy that waited for new releases. I was like, what's this gonna come out? Like now I'm just like,
Right.
okay, I'll blink and it'll be here. Like that's scary because life
Yeah.
can slow down, please, at some point. But yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like, so yeah, the 2015 nostalgia, because everything I pick up from this year, especially doing these music videos, is like that's 10 years old already.
I know.
What?
Yeah.
So, but before we get into that, like, here are
Hmm.
the movies we talk about in the Monday episode. So if you've seen any of them,
Mm.
not sure you're gonna have, or not sure you're going to have, because this is a weird little group. But if you have,
Sure.
cool. So the first one's Queen of Earth. It's an
Yeah. I
Elizabeth
don't know it.
Moss movie where she goes very Elizabeth Moss in it. Um, Z for Zachariah.
Yeah.
It's a
Don't know that one either.
post-apocalyptic movie with Chiwetel Ejiofor, Margot Robbie, and Chris Pine. All
Okay.
right, War Room.
Rings a bell. I don't
It's a
think I have seen.
religious movie.
Okay. Oh,
It's
then
like
I.
it's almost like a Tyler Perry knockoff movie, and it is
Mm.
unintentionally hilarious in many parts.
Okay.
We Are Your Friends. It's a Zac Efron is a DJ. Sucks. It's not a good movie. Uh, and lastly, No Escape. It's a
No
little
escape.
xenophobic thriller with Lake Bell and Owen Wilson and Pierce Brosnan.
Why do I feel like that one really does ring a bell, but I never
Yeah.
saw it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, now those are the
Okay.
movies. It's a whimper of an end to the
Are
summer of 2015.
those are all, yeah, those are all the end of 2015 summer movies?
So, but yeah, they all came
Man,
out to some degree. Queen of Earth played in like 3 theaters, and Z for
yeah.
Zachariah played in 29, but the other three were and War Room played in like a third of the theaters as We Are Your Friends and No Escape, and made way more money than them. It was
Mm,
like number 2 at the box office, and We Are Your Friends was in like 3,000 theaters and didn't even hit the top 10 at the box office. It was like number 12.
wow.
Yeah, big,
Well,
huge bomb.
I get confused. I know this wasn't a summer movie of 2015, but was Force Awakens the
Yes,
December of
December.
2015? Okay.
Yes, yep.
Okay.
Force Awakens was December.
I get confused just because it spent most of its theater time in 2016 because it was such a like a late entry, but
Yes,
in
yeah.
the year. But that's my probably my favorite 2015 movie, but it's not summer. It's not summer. So
Yeah, because in the summer we have the Mad Max Fury Road,
yeah,
Mission
I've never
Impossible
seen
Ghost
it.
Protocol, Spectre. That comes in November
Mm.
before Force Awakens. Um,
It took
yeah.
me a long time to see Spectre. I don't mind it.
Hmm.
I don't mind any of the Daniel Craig Bonds. I mean, we could probably talk for a long time about that. I didn't love Quantum of Solace as much as some of the others.
Hmm. That's
Um,
that one or Spectre are usually people's bottom.
exactly kind of what I was thinking. But I rewatched Spectre semi recently, like within the last six
That one I
months.
like more every time I see it.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
it's
exactly my thing.
once I
Yeah.
get over the whole him and Blofeld are brother. Like I think it's actually an excellent movie until he escapes from the crater base,
Mm,
and then it's a little flimsy after. And it's like, why do we do this if we just met each other again? Like we could have just had a bigger finale at the base rather than hurry up, escape. Okay, we're back. Oh, now she's kidnapped, and we're just running through a thing again. Like
right.
it's a little weird, but I think up till that, it's a fantastic little Bond movie.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
But
and
then and I like the Mission Impossibles. I liked
yep,
Ghost Protocol. I
yep,
just they're sort of like my airplane movies, you
gotcha.
know.
Well,
Get
2015 is the year of the spy because it starts with
Mm.
Kingsman. It also
Mm.
has Mission Impossible. It has Spy, the Melissa McCarthy movie. There's a Haley Steinfeld movie called Barely Lethal. There's of course Spectre, and then there's also Bridge of Spies, the
Huh.
Tom Hanks movie. So yeah, there's a lot of spy movies. I might
Wow.
have even
Wow.
forgotten one or two, but yeah, it
Yeah.
was the year of the spy. That's what I called it. Um,
Wow.
and yeah, and then
Okay.
Force Awakens at the end,
Yeah.
the biggie.
The biggie,
The
right.
biggie. All right.
Cool.
So we are talking about The Hills, which is the second single from the Weeknd's album Beauty Behind the Madness. We've already talked about this album as a whole when we talked about I Can't Feel My Face. This became his second number one single in the US, topping himself on the charts to do so. And he spent 6 weeks consecutive at number one with 11 times platinum in sales. What are your thoughts on The Weeknd, Press?
I respect him.
Okay.
I think he's got a gorgeous voice, and I
Mhm.
really mean that. I also I don't think he's making music for Pres Maxson. You
Mhm.
know, like I don't think he sits down and says, you know, the I'm really speaking to at the time in 2015, I don't
Yeah.
think I'm speaking to the 35-year-old white males of Indiana, you know, like
See, I like Can't
uh,
Feel My Face. I was like, this
I
is
mean,
it reminded me it was very like Michael Jackson-esque for me.
yeah,
That
yeah,
one and Shut Up and Dance by Walk the Moon
yeah.
were like my people are making some good 80s music in 2015. That's
Yeah, Shut Up and Dance was a real bop. I mean, that
yeah.
was like just like a perfectly done pop song. And you
Mhm.
know, I think those guys were regional. Like I want to say maybe
Okay.
a couple of them from Cincinnati.
Gotcha.
Before I worked where I work now, just to like spend time between jobs, I was a volunteer at the Indianapolis Museum of Art.
Oh, okay.
And at the time, the woman who ran their volunteer program um, was her fiance was a bass player in Walk the Moon.
Oh, okay.
And so at least one or two of them lived locally here.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, they were some Midwest guys. Whereas Weekend, I totally agree with you. Like I think there's like a real kind of like Michael Jackson 80s vibe there.
Hmm.
But like I don't listen like to that type of music for fun. Like
Gotcha.
I've heard it or whatever, but it's like I don't get in the car to relax at the end of a hard work day
Hmm.
and put the weekend on, you know.
So like if this so we got The Hills here. This is the one we're talking
Hmm.
about. Had this been the first Weekend song I heard, I wouldn't have been like, I need to hear more from this guy.
Yeah.
But Can't Feel My Face is, and I really like that one. So I've been at least my son is really into The Weeknd. He thinks he loves it.
Yeah.
He's got his albums and he's like, Dad, you gotta listen to you've never heard his albums? Like I've heard the
Yeah.
radio songs, I'm not getting but he's like, you gotta listen to albums. So I'm like, if it would feel like Can't Feel My Face was definitely a gateway to be like, okay, I'll see what you bring. And there's like the Blinding Lights one, which is cool or whatever,
Yeah.
that hits that little 80s button for me too. But like this one, if I had heard this one, I'd be like, eh. But
So
because it's this, I'm like, I like the theatrics of the song,
yeah.
but um, yeah, it's
So
interesting.
so that's what I was gonna say. Like the theatrics of the song, I think sort of betrayed this other thing about him that I think is important for me.
Hmm.
And I catch myself constantly trying to like predict who's still gonna be around in 10 years, then who 30 years from now are we gonna look back and say like they're a legend, you know? I didn't
Hmm.
realize Zoom made me raise my hand.
Was it because
Like,
you went like that? I don't know.
yeah, I
It
think it
was
was
weird.
yeah, watch.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, okay.
Yeah.
It won't tell me that because I'm
Yeah,
hosting, right?
it will it?
I'm the host.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
No, so what I mean by that is I remember back in the early 2000s thinking,
Hmm.
okay, Chili Peppers are like gaining a catalog that could, 25 years from now make them absolute legends. They have the talent level, they have the
Hmm.
catalog, whatever. I don't know that they're necessarily the legends I thought they might be back then, but I remember I thought Celine Dion and Chili Peppers seemed to have the universal appeal. the unquestionable talent, like, that I bet they're still around. I think you could probably argue that Celine is a downright legend to her audience,
Yeah.
particularly. She has a huge audience. Anyway, I think my whole point of bringing that up is I think The Weeknd sort of checks all my boxes for, is this someone who has potential to, I mean, no one's turning into a Taylor Swift, but what I mean when I say turning into a Taylor Swift or Beatles or Rolling Stones is that are they still going to have a career that puts people in stadiums 30, 40 years from now?
Hmm.
And are people just going to like adopt these songs to soundtrack of life? And I think for me, he checks all the boxes. He's got undeniable talent, beautiful voice. He seems to have that sort of it factor vision.
Hmm.
You see his Super Bowl show, you
I
watch these
watched his
music videos.
concert on Max, which was like, okay, this
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. It's not just, I mean, there's something to be said. Good, just walking out there on stage and doing the music really
Hmm.
works for some folks. But then I do think there are other folks who devise this whole show, go out there and just something doesn't hit. I don't think he's one of those people. I think he finds a way to bring these creative visions to life that really, really hit for him, for his audience, that wins him some new folks. So I have nothing bad to say
Yeah,
about The
massive,
Weeknd.
massive,
You know?
massive album sale. Like, yeah,
Yes.
no one's Taylor Swift, but man, he's up there. Like he's taking one of the next like 5 or 6 spots
I mean,
in our modern time from since then to now. He is. I think he's in a challenging spot in his career right now, though, because he put a movie out that was a passion project that was a flat out embarrassment.
I didn't even know there was a movie. Okay.
He had a TV show that he was in like a year ago that was also a flat out embarrassment. And
Hmm.
now he's trying to retire the Weekend moniker and go by his name.
I've heard that.
And are these the right choices? If those choices fail, where can you get back up? Like, cause yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird. Cause like, while we know he is a god and a legend, but once Prince flipped to the symbol, did he ever really come back to like,
It's a
I
great
don't know,
question.
did he
Um,
truly be? I mean, we all respect like, oh, he's Prince, but was it there? Was because the symbol weirded people out, and it
yeah.
kind of, and he had like the most beautiful girl in the world, and that album kind of didn't. And then
Didn't do anything right.
I don't remember Prince really doing living large and being in the pop culture uh mind frame till the Super Bowl when he did that one of the best halftime shows ever. And that I
Yeah.
think that's probably people's last impression of Prince was pulling off that amazing halftime show before he passed. Like,
So I sort of regret bringing up Taylor because she breaks all the rules,
mm-hmm,
but I feel like you see a pattern in that you see a band break big or an
mm-hmm,
artist break big. That takes time. I mean, even the flash in the pan, not the flash in the pan, even the
mm-hmm.
one-hit wonders have probably been around in one shape or form for like well over 5 or 6 years. They break and they break big. And then the pattern is we all kind of stop being wowed by the freshness of it all. So there's
Right.
like this lull period. And it seems to me that like the name of the game is surviving that lull to get to a point where people associate you with like their teenage years and now they're in their 30s and they have money
Mm-hmm.
to spend and oh my God, a Counting Crows concert sounds so fun, guys.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, like you kind of ride a nostalgia wave, or you can be one of these people like that they don't just survive that lull. They put out something that continues to be relevant, that like evolves in just the right way.
Yep.
And the difference between let me see if I can think of a good example here. The difference between um, a Garth Brooks who does Chris Gaines,
Oh yeah. Yep.
and it's awful,
Yep.
but somehow continues just being like one of the highest grossing country artists, like stadium packing people for the next like 3 decades,
Mm-hmm.
basically. The line between that is so fine from someone who does the Passion Project and then it kills everything. It's like, how did Paul McCartney make give my regards to Broadway, and like no one really seems to
I think
care.
Garth lucked out because Chris Gaines was a a thing for a movie, and that could just be shuffled under the, well, that was part of the movie promotion. We're done.
Right.
So he lucked.
I
He
totally
might have.
agree.
He might have lucked out there with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to evolve. Like, and people get so, because then you also have to survive your own fans turning on you because your music's evolving.
Right.
That is a point, because
Yeah.
like Beatles, you know how many people probably turned from them once the Beatlemania Beatles died and went to actually really changing our music scene for
Well,
lifetimes. And there's like, and not the greatest, like Coldplay,
yeah.
many people call sellouts, whatever, but they were changing their music to continue to be relevant, and they stayed relevant. They stayed.
Yeah. You know what's wild? So there's this guy named, I think his name's Phil Harvey, and he's
Hmm.
like the fifth member of Coldplay.
Yeah.
Legitimately, he is their manager slash their musical director, like is right in there, like with an equal share of band voting and stuff.
Hmm.
And I feel like I read in one of their blogs or something where they're like, one of the things we trust about Phil is that he's an absolute student of like the musical progress of a career. You know, he looked at people like the Beatles, to an
Hmm.
extent, the Stones, these bands that they really look up to, and kind of really looked at the albums that started to depart from what made them famous, the sound that made them famous. What was it about the albums that departed from that sound that was a success? And it feels like that's something Coldplay has done really well, where they've like, you know, pulled out this like formula for, okay, how can we like change who we are a little bit and and pack a stadium, keep going, you know. I I will personally add though that when I heard Parachutes, my mind was sort of blown. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, this is like a moody, kind of dark, unapologetically European English sounding band.
Hmm.
Then Rush of Blood, I remember being like, oh, this sounds like that same band with way more money. Like
Yeah.
this
Yeah. Yeah.
sounds produced. This sounds
Yep.
like really interesting. And then I remember X and Y being like, with the exception of one or two songs, I don't get it. This isn't what I thought it
Hmm.
was. And then by the time you get to Vita La Vida, you're like, what is going on?
Yep.
You know, this is different. And then their fifth album, Milo Xyloto, I think is the start of the era they're really in now. That neon everywhere, like shout chorus in the stadium
Well,
thing.
you listen to the one they did with the chain smokers and then go back to like Yellow, and it's like that's what they became. Yeah,
Exactly.
and there's like,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
Coldplay went to that, but we're talking about the weekend, but this is a good music. It's got like Coldplay went from that band where you heard the album, you took a risk off like one song and you were like, holy
Yeah.
crap, was this? And then you're making like CD, like burning CDs or
Yeah.
cassettes and telling your friends, and you guys all do that, to you go to buy Viva La Vida, and then like the high school football player that used to like pick on you is picking it up too, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like that's what happens. You're like, wait, what? I don't
Yeah.
know. And not to be hipster and all that, but that's a big thing. Like, you know, and that's
I
the kind of
yeah.
fandom, that's the kind of thing you got to go when you're on the musician, and you have to survive that era of
Yeah.
that person being like, you were mine, but now I'm sharing you with people I don't like, or um what are you doing? You sound like the music
Yeah.
that you're being associated with the music I'm not cool with, or something like that. But it's, and then you grow up like us, and we're like, yeah, if the music you enjoy makes you happy and it's not hurting, that's
Yeah.
fine. Like who cares? Like Pat
Yeah.
Oswalt, he's like, yeah, I used to be like, screw those, Nickelback guys, man. They suck because they're all about like making money and getting hot women. And wait, why do I hate these guys?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's like,
yeah. Well, I think what we're trying to say, right, is that like
yeah,
the weekend is at the precipice
yeah, he's
for
had
like
it.
that
Yeah.
that's the perception I get. So is the weekend going to be a thing that becomes nostalgia for people who were in junior high and high school in 2015,
He's
or
almost
people
in
who
like
loved pop music?
a self-harm phase too, where he's taking
Mm,
these shit, like he's doing this he does this passion project movie. He's taking away I don't want to be the weekend no more. I want you to know my real name. And it's
yeah.
like, I don't know if you should do that. it's okay to be the Weeknd, man. Like, because people are still gonna call you the damn Weeknd. People still
Right.
called Prince Prince. Like only the uh the media outlets that were under they could get a lawsuit on them if they didn't call them the artist formerly known as Prince were calling him the artist formerly known as Prince.
Dwayne
Like
Johnson is
yeah,
still pretty commonly called as Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
he's the Rock. He's the Rock.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Um, well, I wish him the best on it.
yeah.
I feel like I thought of while we were talking, I thought of an example of someone who didn't do it super gracefully, and that's Vanessa Carlton. Remember,
Oh,
she blew up with A Thousand
1,000 miles.
Miles,
Yeah.
and what was the other song? Ordinary Day. That was like
hmm
just a day, just
And
an
she joined
ordinary day.
Counting Crows for the Big Yellow
That's right,
Taxi, the single version, not the album version.
right.
But she joined them for that.
And I actually I didn't know she wasn't on the album version. That's interesting.
hmm
Because it was a hidden song, right, on that album, Hard Candy, maybe.
Yep, yep.
Anyway, the but I read up on her recently, and I think she did kind of make a willful choice eventually to go off and not worry about being in pop music anymore. But she did drastically change her style after
hmm
those couple early hits. And I mean, it sort of goes without saying that nobody seemed to follow her, you
Well, it's
know.
like Natalie and Bruglia. She went like
Hmm.
goth after
After
Torn.
Torn?
She
Wow.
let Billy Corgan produce her next album, and yeah, and
Wow. I don't think I knew it.
zero hits. She took on like this goth look, and it was like, huh. Well, then you get like, what was her name? She did Promiscuous Girl. What was her name? Um,
Why does that ring a bell? That's not Nelly Furtado, is it?
yes, Nelly Furtado. She started with like I'm like a bird,
I'm like
little
a
sweet
bird,
saw, and
right?
then goes to like, yo, we're getting it on in the club type. So it's like, wow, all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um, yeah.
let's move quickly to the music video
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
there's not much here with this music video, but might as well bring it
Yeah.
up. Grant Singer, who also did the "Can't Feel My Face" video, did this one.
Mm.
It features Sophie Dalla. It's just this. There's a car turned upside down. The Weeknd crawls out. A girl crawls out. She's pissed at him, and he walks all the way to what I guess is his house and goes up the steps.
Right.
That's
Right.
the video. It's all in slow motion. This video has been viewed 2 billion times.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
I'd get happy when I get 1,000. Jeez,
Yeah.
so 2 billion times.
Billion times.
So,
Good
you
for
have
you, Weekend.
any thoughts on the video?
Yeah, it didn't
I know you're not a story video guy.
yeah, you remember
So,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not here to hate on it. I mean, it wasn't my favorite,
hmm
but like was it artful? Of course.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a really clear execution of a vision.
hmm
And as a professional creative, I acknowledge how difficult it is sometimes to like stay true to that idea, to that vision. And you can always
hmm
tell, even if you weren't in the creative process like either of us, you can always, I feel like you can tell most of the time when by looking at the end product,
hmm
how true they were to what they wanted. You know what I found myself wishing? I sort of I'm gonna Monday morning quarterback it. I sort of wanted it to be one of those like one marathon continuous shot situations. And
hmm
the first time I watched it, about a minute in, I caught myself going like, wait, has there been a cut yet? Like,
Yeah.
like this could be really cool. This could be really cool. And I
hmm
started over and almost instantly I realized, okay, wait, yeah. It's not continuous.
yeah.
But like for 1 second kind of had that feel. And
Yeah.
I
No, that's
was kind
what
of excited about that for a second.
it hints to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the part where right before it goes into the second chorus, like it stops, the bass hits, and the car blows up in the background. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
So
That's
I actually
synced up nice.
I wondered kind of how they did it. And I
Yeah.
thought like I mean, I've been part of music video shoots before and they really are cranking the song live And
Yeah,
so do you
everybody
just
hates
have
it by the end of the shoot. Yep.
oh for sure. Like I was in a music video that I mean I'm actually really proud of it. I thought it was a really nicely done video.
Hmm.
I personally think the story was maybe a little bit too much, but it's a kind of music I like.
Yeah.
And I was an extra in it because our I probably have said this sometime on the podcast when we've been talking about music videos, but it's the kind of thing where the woman who was managing our band in LA managed
Hmm.
like other acts and she had a network of managers, and this was the kind of thing where she was like, "Hey, we just need bodies. Like we need bodies in the
Hmm.
background. Will you guys come and do this?" And the drummer in my band, he and I appear actually fairly prominently in the music video. Like we never thought that was going to be the case. But my point is, yeah, they cranked the thing like so loud. So part of me was like in this Weekend video. So is their pyro guy just listening along and he's gonna send it on the
Right.
boom? Or is this like a pretty well done special effect done in post,
Right.
and that because it's like almost so perfect that you're like, that's you
Or,
know,
they could have done it, but like the car was a different shoot and they like
right.
merged the
Yeah.
for that moment they
Yeah.
merged him over that and
Either way,
or
I'm
they
with you.
yeah,
That
yeah.
moment has impact. That moment
Yeah.
has impact where you're
That's
like,
what I took
oh,
away from
sweet.
this one. Not a whole lot else, but I was
No,
like,
no,
I get
yeah.
the effect. I get what it does. It's not. It's like okay, I get it. That's fine. But yeah.
Here's the only thing I'll complain about, and it has to do with my aversion to storytelling stuff. Like when the lead singer is like overtly acting. Like I want him to feel the song. The
Mm-hmm.
same way when I go to a concert, I want to see him feel the song.
Right.
But it's like I don't know if they appear like they're distraught or beat up or injured and like whatever, but they're still singing the song. That's where I start to be like, I thought a music video was to, of course, promote the music, but
Mm-hmm.
also in a way like celebrate the music, celebrate the song. And I don't mean that it has to be joyous necessarily, but I do
Yeah.
feel like I want to believe that the lead singer's in the song, and sometimes they're acting so much that I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, well, like you can't be like you're acting so hard, like it doesn't sound anything like
Yeah.
what you sounded and looked like, what your face looked like in the booth when you were singing
Right.
this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I get.
know,
No, I
it's
totally
like,
get you. Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah. He's too
So
too monotone for the emotion that's in this. But maybe that was like
yeah,
also his idea was to be like,
maybe,
I'm just so yeah.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Because the
But
girl in it,
Weekend,
she's all pissed.
yeah, but Weekend, if you're listening,
He is.
first
Yeah.
of all, yeah, he surely is. First of all, I'm not here to hate or tear you
Oh.
down. I'm just my opinion,
Yep.
man. I
No, he's a cool guy. I enjoyed his
yeah,
halftime show when he did it. Like that
me
was
too.
I
Me
know a
too.
lot of people are like, "What is this?" I'm like, this guy had like an idea, and he
Yeah.
knows people are at home watching, so he took advantage of that. And that was like the COVID Super Bowl too, so
Right.
not many people were there. But I'm like, yeah, this guy was like, he thought this, he overthought this for the, most of them people find out they're doing a Super Bowl halftime show, let someone else take care of it, or don't
Hmm.
think about what we're doing until like a month out or something.
Yeah.
The weekend got announced for that and started coming up with an idea. Like
Yeah.
that's what I feel like.
Yeah.
So
I
that,
agree.
but cool,
Yeah.
cool guy. Well, I think you got any more thoughts on this?
Not really. I wish I
Okay,
did.
yeah.
I actually, so
Well,
that's
I
it.
was
So
thinking it too.
that's
Like
it.
I really was like, I was like, well, this one's not much, but the dude had 3 top 10 hits, including 2 number 1s this summer. So I'm
I'm
like,
not
he gets
denying the
more. He gets
stardom.
more than one because his other one was
Yeah.
earned it from 50 Shades of Grey, which
Mm,
that's just a clip show from the movie type music video. But
mm, mm.
but he also had these 2 other songs, but they're all in the top 10 during the summer. So I'm like, okay, Janet Jackson got it in '93, so Weekend's gonna get it here because he had a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Taylor only had one in there this whole
Damn.
summer, but yeah.
Damn.
So, but her album had been out for a while, so it was like one of the later. It was Bad
Right.
Blood. It was only one of the later ones.
Huge album for Taylor though.
Oh yeah, big
Um,
one of the best pop albums of the 2010s for sure.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Easy, no
Yeah.
shame in admitting that.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, so that'll do it. And normally at this point, this is where you tell me what movie we're going to be discussing this Christmas, but not this year. It is my turn.
Okay.
So, in a few months, for the Christmas holiday, you and I, we ended up picking Christmas stuff. So,
yeah.
The holiday episode, we're going to be talking the 1984 TV movie, The Night They Saved Christmas, directed by Jackie Cooper, starring Jacqueline Smith from Charlie's Angels, Scott Grimes, Paul LaMatte, Paul Williams, and Art Carney and June Lockhart as Santa and Mrs. Claus.
I am so into this. I'm here for it. I am so here for it. Is this?
I don't know why, but this is a movie we watched at my house like damn near every year when I was a kid.
That was going to be my question.
No fucking clue why. And my mom would always, the night they saved Christmas is going to be on TV tonight. Okay, or this afternoon or whatever.
I'm so here for this.
I think we had a tape with it on it too, like recorded off TV at one point. And like we watched that when I was a kid, and it was mainly at our old house when I was like I told you, like I moved when I was in 5th grade. So somewhere after that move we stopped watching it. But I know for like years, every year up to that, we watched The Night They Saved Christmas all the time. So I think it has robot reindeer in it.
Oh, I'm so here for this.
Yeah, I think it has robot, and Santa has like a cave. And there's like, I know it's like in the snowy place, so they have this like big like tank thing that people drive out. It might be in Alaska. I don't. It's a wild movie from my memory, but I didn't remember. I'm like, so I was like, Paul Williams is this okay? All right, the musician or whatever.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
So that's the one. That's the one. That should be a nice companion to the Duke boys.
Yeah.
Going across the country. So
all right.
All right. Well, until then, Pres, where can people keep up with you?
Oh, great question. So please find me on Substack. That's where I post author news about as often as I can. And I do most of my regular writing on there. And so it's kind of like a hybrid email newsletter /
good stories,
short
too.
Stories. Yeah, short stories.
Life stories stuff, too. It's good stuff.
And then I'm on Instagram at Pres Maxson. So either Substack or Instagram are probably your best bets. I started a TikTok account. I feel like I start a new TikTok account.
I'm thinking about that. Is it okay? Like, because I just don't want another time sucker in my hand. So that's like.
So I think it takes a bit of a commitment, but you can get your audience numbers going pretty quickly.
Yeah,
I feel like. Yeah, I feel like I've started several TikTok accounts through the years, and I just have no problem with doing it for a few months, and I'll shut it down, and then I'll start a brand new one from scratch, retrain an algorithm, and just try some new stuff,
Gotcha.
So I had a pretty good high growth banjo one going because I love playing banjo, but just kind of got tired of it and deleted it. Kind of wish I hadn't now, but I was like, I'll switch over to a writing one. So you can find me on TikTok at Pres Maxson Author. So really that covers it all. If you're go to Instagram, TikTok, or Substack is probably the main place I like to communicate.
Okay. All right. And of course, I'm on the socials at Brandon4KUHD. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel where you can watch Pres and I, or you can check out one of my 4K or Blu-ray reviews or other things that I tend to put there and maybe not on the podcast stream. Monday, this is it, the epilogue of the summer of 2015 at 10, which includes the announcement of what summer we shall be discussing next year, which was voted on by you, the listener. And all that and more as the summer of 2015 at 10 continues.
The summer of 2015 at 10.
Thank you for listening. The Brandon Peters Show is a Creative Zombie Studios production. Produced by Brad Shoemaker and Brandon Peters. Written and edited by Brandon Peters. Announcer vocals by Jessica Alsman. Theme song by Metavari. Web design and show art by Brad Shoemaker with Brandon Peters. All music and clips featured in the episode are property of their respective studios, and no infringement is intended. Additional information on this and other episodes at BrandonPetersShow.com. For any inquiries, press opportunities, or sponsorship, contact mail at BrandonPetersShow.com. The show is available on Apple Music, Spotify, or anywhere podcasts are found.